Hello, and welcome back to another episode. Halloween approaches. Autumn is most certainly here, and much of the world around us starts to feel like it's getting ready for slumber. Not least with the trees turning shades of gold and red and orange and blanketing the floor with a beautiful carpet. It's incredibly atmospheric, and it's probably my favorite time of the year. And today I want to talk about that, in so much as I want to talk about being present in mind for that. For so much of my life, I have been a warrior, a fearsome warrior. I have, and still do, spend an awful lot of time in my head considering, for the most part, what might go wrong. Even this morning with the car, there's an abstract problem with the car, there's a sensor issue, but the possibility of that sensor being correct and that one of the tyres might explode at any moment while going at high speed had me very worried. And you see what's happening there. In the moment, you're not. You are, in fact, projecting yourself into an imagined future. You're worrying about what might happen, and quite often it never does. I developed this habit over the course of decades. I am now 41 years old as of September, and for most of my life, worrying, I suppose, kept me safe, not least with a very problematic home life, at times dangerous parent, but also in school and at university. I always felt as though worrying about the next deadline, the essay, the assignment, would keep me on track, would keep me focused, would keep me right, keep me safe. And all that time, worrying about what in some cases might happen, literally, possibly at times did happen, but also as well what might go wrong, especially in the fairly safe environment of writing an essay at university, meant that I wasn't really focusing on the moment. And it's one of my regrets from university that I didn't really take advantage of that first year, when lots of people have fun and just about pass and then take it seriously in the second and third years. I could have done that, but I didn't. I got a letter of commendation from my college. They said, "Well done, you've done amazingly this year." But that's because I had no moment. Speaking of being present, up you come. There we go. Morty's just come in to say hello. Hello. So I got this letter of commendation, but I wasn't in all that time when I was worrying about getting the best marks, whether or not I'd revised enough, whether or not I'd read enough, and projecting into various ideas of the future, what might go wrong. I wasn't enjoying the moment. I didn't enjoy even getting that letter, because then I was worrying about what sort of standards that I'd set for myself. How am I going to follow this up? So on and so forth. And yet this autumn, I have found myself being actually very present. I suddenly found that I was being contacted a lot about December and whether or not I could do little blocks of work here and there. And it was almost as though in planning for December, at the end of September, an awful lot of people were skipping ahead, skipping October, skipping November, and before we know it, it's going to be Christmas. And I know that's the way it is. That's what happens. But that's not what I wanted. And I found myself really mentally rebelling against the idea that somehow I was going to miss out on October and November by thinking too soon about December. And therefore, this month I've been very deliberate, very conscious of enjoying the changing of the light at night, the coming of the changing leaves, the cold, the crispness of the mornings. And in particular, walking this guy, actually, funnily enough. A couple of nights ago, I took him out for a walk, and I found myself not worrying, not planning, and not ruminating. I wasn't going over what had happened in the day or in the days prior. I was just present. I was walking with him, noticing the leaves, and enjoying exploring our neighborhood together. Come on. Just so fast. Come on. Come on. There you go, good boy. Come on. No, not that way. Come on. This way. Go. Yeah. Come on. Like a black shadow in the void. It was lovely. I strongly recommend it. I do. And that realization led me the next day, when I was looking over my schedule for the end of the week, to take a moment when I realized that it looked like we were understaffed in the park. I now have a part-time job 1 or 2 days a week at the local parks. We were understaffed for school workshops. Typically there were 4 people in, and on that day there were 2, myself included, and I'm new, I'm still learning the ropes. And I had a moment where I thought, is this something to worry about? Do I need to contact my line manager? Do I need to clarify what's going on? Do they know? Oh my goodness, what happens? I can't be in 2 places at once. It all started. And then I thought, no. First of all, that's one of the reasons why I've taken on this job, is so as to be able to hand off some of the management of time to someone else and just get paid to be there. In my own work and my own business, I have to do that all the time for myself already. I don't need to take on someone else's managerial concerns. So I thought, no, intellectually, don't. This is an advantage of being employed and not being an employer, or being self-employed rather. But also emotionally, I thought, no, enjoy this, bask in it, sit into it. And I very deliberately did. I very deliberately thought, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm just going to turn up on the day and see what happens. So I turned up. This was at the end of last week, and it was fine. There were half the people because there was half the work. We were only having half the number of kids from this particular school come in to the park, and so we still did 4 activities, but it was 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, instead of 4 going at the same time, morning and afternoon. It paid dividends to be present and to not worry. Deliberately not worry, actively not worry. And for me, it has to be an effort. It is an effort. I know some people who are practically horizontal in their day-to-day lives. They're so unworried. But for me, it's an effort, but it's worth it. And hopefully, it will become a habit, given more practice. So there you go. This October, this autumn, this Halloween, I'm doing my best to be present, to enjoy the moment, and know that November and December are coming regardless. I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to hold them in my head. They'll be here soon enough. And in the meantime, enjoy time with Morty, enjoy time with family, and enjoy time. Yeah, and just enjoy time. Enjoy the coming of the dark. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully this has been interesting, or at the very least entertaining. And until next time, do take care. Bye-bye.